except the guard when he comes by and gives you food. Or if you need to see a doctor, you see a nurse, and then you see or you see MTA, which is medical technical technician, and medical technician assistant is what they call them. And what they do is, if it's bad enough and they need to see a doctor, then they'll have a doctor come and see him, or they'll take him to the prison hospital, but they don't let them around other inmates because they're in isolation. But here, you got one nurse for every 2 patients. They can receive phone calls all the time. I was told that they're even allowed to do Zoom. And I haven't seen a prison yet that allows Zoom in their prison. So I don't know what to say about that. So I think they're barking up the wrong tree there. Totally. And of course, you got protesters that bring their kids out to a hospital where there's COVID, and they definitely didn't vaccinate their kids. So, but it's all right. There's a lot of people over there. Someone might have COVID and be nice enough to give their kids COVID. So, but like I said, I think it's absolutely retarded that they're out here for that. I mean, if they had a good reason to come out, I would support it. But I'm not going to walk over and support that bullshit. Like I said, it's a slap in the face to the inmates in isolation that they sit there and say are being tortured. It's a slap in the face to all those patriots that got arrested and is in that federal prison that's not getting medical care, in isolation, not getting medical care, and not getting visits. And when they are in population, they get a visit, then they got to go to medical quarantine for 14 days. So yeah, it's like ridiculous that they would even consider his treatment the same as the prisoners, and that's what they're basing it on. They're sitting there saying that the United Nations and the feds sat there and said that isolation is torture, and that's what they put on their site. Isolation is torture, and therefore the hospital is torturing this old man, and it's absolutely wrong. The guy needs to worry more about taking care of himself than he does who's going to visit him and who's going to cry alligator tears. Hey, how you doing today?
Yeah, fine.
All right. So, but yeah, I want your guys' opinion. If someone's in the hospital in ICU getting phone calls, Zoom calls, letters, and everything else that they need, you know. Decent food, not good food, but decent food for hospital food. And I want you to tell me if that's the same treatment prisoners get in state and federal prisons in isolation. Tell me, is that the absolute same? Yeah, it's just a sad thing all the way around that, you know, they're out here comparing that. Because like I said, it's a slap in the face to all the inmates in state and federal prisons that are locked in a cell by themselves, and they come out 1 or 2 hours a day to go out to the yard, and then they're back in their cells. Or they do 10 hours of exercise a week. It has to average up to 10 hours a week. With no phone calls, their letters being searched, and if they got the wrong words in it, they confiscate the letter. So. I mean, if it's possible that she should see her dad, I fully understand. Okay, but I do not understand and will not understand how the hospital, or how they sit there and say, well, I don't care if I'm vaccinated or not, I have a right to go see my dad. Okay, the lady's dad has a right to get well. And them visiting just put stress on the dad. See, their kids just run all over the place, running through bushes and stuff. All kinds of sickos hang out at hospitals, but they don't care. I mean, and there's a lot of sick people that hang out at hospitals too. I mean, physically sick. You know, easy to catch something at a hospital, and you're going to let them run around in the bushes in the parking lot? How you doing today? Don't worry, I don't bite. So, so I guess she's going the other way because she didn't want to come this way because we got protesters over there. I wouldn't want to risk a rock being thrown at my window either. See, now that's torture right there. That's actually child abuse, having the kids come out and hold signs like that. One, they're wearing pretty dark clothes. Two, they're in a dark area. And if something happened, someone lost control and went up on the sidewalk, they would lose their kid. That's very sad. So, in fact, one of them looks like the sign's as big as she is.
When they said, oh, we only need 2 weeks to slow the spread.
Yeah, I also remember Biden sitting there saying that if you got your vaccine, that you wouldn't get COVID. And you know something? My dad would call him a liar to his face, because when I got COVID, I gave it to everyone. My dad, my dad's girlfriend, my brother.
But you're good now, which means
Yep.
you don't have to worry about catching it again.
Right.
And I don't care what they say, that the immunity only lasts for 3 months. That's not true.
No.
Because I exposed my mother who had it a year prior. She didn't get it.
Right. Well, look at the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They're saying every 2 months you're going to need a booster.
It's never going to end.
No.
Until we say no.
Yep.